here today looking at the Garmin GPS map, and we are going to look at how to design a route. So Dom, do you want to lead us through the menu options for actually setting a route on the screen? It's going to start by bringing up the menu.
That's right, and once I've brought up the menu, I do have an info button at the bottom. If I press the info button again, I can go to user data. I've got the option here, instead of programming a waypoint, to actually program the routes. Now it's got something in here already. What I'm going to do is choose a new route, and I've got two route options, one to actually program it using the chart or to actually set an auto guidance. I'm going to program it individually, and that allows me to zoom in and choose where I want the first point to be. So here's my boat over here. I'm going to choose the first point here and press add turn. There we go.
I think it's worth saying that that will take you straight to that point, which clearly we wouldn't do going straight through the marina. But in reality, if you can't get as far as going to that first waypoint, you perhaps shouldn't be leaving this marina that you know well already.
That's right. So here's my second point, and as I'm moving the cursor around the screen, it actually draws a little line giving me some indication of the area I'm going through. I might zoom in to give myself a better indication of the area that I'm going to put this next waypoint. There we go, add turn. And I'm going to scroll down, and I'll be a bit careful to zoom in and out as I'm going to make sure that I don't go across any shallow areas, because that's where the route will ultimately take me.
And you're following the channels out.
That's right, so we're going to try and set one that takes us out through the North Channel out of the harbour. Add the next turn, there we go, and then I'm going to come over here, staying slightly on the starboard side of the channel as I go. I want it to reflect the route that I'm actually following. I don't want to get too close to the buoys though, because again the navigation will take us directly to them. So each time I'm using a point where I'm going to have some kind of visual reference on the water to set that waypoint. Oh, now that one's actually snapped it right to the buoy, so let's undo that and see if we can just force it out into the channel, otherwise the navigation will try and take us directly to the buoy and we might end up bashing into it. Okay.
Perhaps that's as far as we need to go to add one more point perhaps.
Now that one I could actually go straight down, go past the previous buoy, as long as I haven't allowed myself to go too close to it. Shall we finish there?
Yeah.
So I press the done button and there we go. That's the new route that's just appeared in there.
It's not overly helpful to find in the future though, is it? So
no.
We'll probably need to rename it so we can actually find it again.
Let's choose it. Let's review it. There we go. It's given us a exploded image. And if I then choose edit route again, I can straight away change the name from this rather nondescript 0001, and I'm going to change it to route to North Channel. Now I'm probably going to run out of buttons here, so let's abbreviate it to N-Chan. That'll mean something more than 0010007. Super. Then I hit the done button and back. I could actually navigate to it now, but that is now set in my routes and auto guidance paths list. So in future, if I want to retrieve it, I can just go back into that info option.
So shall we carry on now and imagine we've just got to our boat and we actually want to look at how we can follow a route that we have previously input into our chart plotter on the Garmin GPS map.
So let's go into that bottom menu again, choose the info button and user data once more, routes and auto guidance, and I can choose my route as we programmed it. It wasn't that one, it was this one, route to North Channel, and there's an extra button that's appeared now saying navigate to, and if I choose that I've got the option of either going forwards or backwards. So I'm going to follow it forwards, which means it's now going from the beginning of the route that I programmed in the order that I programmed it.
So it's nice and clear on the chart plotter there, isn't it?
It is. We've got an extra data bar that's appeared, and that's giving us some options such as distance to destination. So that's the overall length of the route and how long it's going to be. It's got an off course, so as we head towards the first waypoint, it imagines it's drawn these lines and it will tell you how far to the left or the right of those lines you're going. It gives us a bearing to the first, in this case, waypoint, the distance to that next waypoint, and then there's a few extra bits of information that we'll actually start to update as we start to move. Obviously, time to the next waypoint and the arrival at the destination are unknown until we actually start to move.
And I think at this point, Dom, it might be useful just to explain why there is a difference between the bearing that we need to follow, what our GPS heading is, our course over ground, and what our compass is reading. Can you explain the difference between the three different figures that we have there?
Yeah, that's right. So this is the bearing actually to the next waypoint, which is this one over here.
So that's what we need to turn our boat so that it is reading to get there.
Exactly. So we need to be going 195 degrees to get there.
But we need to keep our eyes open so we don't hit anything en route.
That's right. And if we head straight there, as Sarah mentioned, we will go straight through the marina, which will be quite tricky. So we've also got a GPS heading, or in brackets more accurately, course over ground displayed here. Now this is currently saying north. The unit thinks the boat is pointing north and going north. We're actually tied to a pontoon, so that must be based upon a tiny bit of movement that's actually been picked up by the chart plotter. If I pan the camera up slightly, you can see that we do have a steering compass on the console here, and that's currently 310. That's actually the direction the boat's pointing. So there's often a discrepancy between what you're seeing on the chart plotter, because this course over ground has been displayed as GPS heading, but it's actually the direction the boat is, in this case, drifting ever so slightly. Once we start moving, that'll give us a realistic idea of which way the boat's going. So as we start to pick up a little bit of speed, hopefully these two will start to match up and come together. But the one we see on our steering compass on top of the console is literally the way the boat is pointing at present.
Fantastic. Probably time to get going.
Okay.